Hey everyone, so I had been meaning to create this video a while ago, and what I wanted to talk about today is the death cults. Now, please don't get your panties in a bundle. I don't mean any hatred, because I know a lot of you are in it and you'd rather not be, or you were born into it. So I just want to share what I have learned in multiple years of research, reading books, listening to live accounts, listening to real person accounts on websites, and other places before all of the huge censoring started. So, from all of my years of researching, I wanted to at least be able to share with you the one common denominator in everything that I've learned. And was kind of on accident that I learned, but I think that I learned when I was supposed to learn. Because I believe nothing comes to you before you are ready to either accept it or learn about the subject. And it kind of messed me up when I first started learning about these things. And now I got to a point where I just could not listen to the first-hand accounts anymore, whether I was reading about them or listening to them on various internet sites. So hold on, I'm gonna So without going too deep into everything in the universe being created through energy, and there's really no good or bad. I mean, I feel that a lot of things that happen in our realm, or this realm, are very cruel, diabolical, and evil. And I personally believe that a lot of what is ritualized and practiced underground under churches, in basements, is malevolent, cruel, and a harnessing of energy, life force, for gods that you probably haven't even actually experienced. And especially young ones, you need to learn to decipher patterns. I started noticing patterns when I was in my early 20s. If something's not adding up, there's a reason it's not adding up. Because there's some type of a secret. And what you will ask yourself is, what are you hiding? What is so secret? What is so secreto that everyday people are not allowed to know what goes on behind closed doors? If you learn to read people's energy, and I say people lightly, you will be able to feel or know who or what they are. One of the biggest secrets that has been kept hidden for thousands of years is that of harnessing of energy. All the great people, all the great inventors knew about this. You have to see the patterns. Sometimes people are involved in things or being told to do things, and they're not really involved in the darkness. But it's like that old saying, darkness will be revealed in the light. Keep shining it really brightly. And things will no longer be hidden in plain sight. There's more one-eye symbolism because you just can't help it, right? I personally feel that a lot of these people doing these signs are not as involved, or just simply just do the minimum. Okay, so one thing that you will see hold on. One thing that you will see is the underlying thread is death. Death, death, death. I don't know why that picture's doing that. Watch that. Do you see that? That's weird. Some weird shit going on here. So, everything's a big freaking game. Ha ha ha, it's so funny, isn't it? Everything's so funny. It's just a big ass joke. And this AI stuff's doing some weird freaking stuff. They don't want everyone knowing about their initiations. You ain't in the club, like, what's his name? George Carlin said. Anyways, I can't find that picture. So, death follows them wherever they go. Anybody that is so set on getting power and the only way or reason that they can have power is taking other people's lives, children's lives, babies' lives, because that is the energy that they feed on. Everything about them is death, 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 duality, death. And this is demonstrated a lot through things that go on in society, or I like to more think of it as woven in society, woven throughout society. And you will see, if you develop eyes to see, you will see it woven throughout society. And they will tell you who they are. They love their symbolism. So, again, one-eye symbolism. It always centers around death. Hold on 1 minute. And the minute that a person asks a question or starts putting two and two together, they try to diminish, demean, devalue, negate, talk down to who you are. And a lot of the people doing this propaganda PR, they're in the know. Oftentimes, the people that you are seeing, or sometimes children, doing the symbolism, they're from elite families, and I don't mean any shade. And me personally, I think the words that get thrown around a lot are not even the words that they would use to describe themselves. But what I do know is they very much believe in blood sacrifice of babies, children, and adults. Baal worship, Moloch. And me personally, I feel like, I think paganism gets a really bad rap. I think a lot of times they try to cloak themselves behind these pagan religions that we're not going out and sacrificing babies and things like that. But what you will see again and again and again is death. And because they are obsessed with symbolism, they will hide it in plain sight, but it's so blatant that once you have eyes to see, you cannot unsee it. Hold on a minute here. Highly recommend Zachary K. Hubbard. I did purchase one of his books, and I started reading it. I don't know. I don't think I finished, but I like hardcover book. I think this was the one I want to read. Anyhow, he really breaks it down a lot. So I think he's on his 26th or 27th channel, something like that. But everything's hidden in plain sight. They've been doing the same things. The people that run the world, the planet, have been doing the same things for centuries and centuries and centuries. And they marry within their own families. You know, like they keep it, I don't know how to say it, but like they are very specific about who comes into the family, who doesn't, etc. But the things that they practice are quite dark. And as much as I've learned now, I actually feel kind of sorry for some of these people. But I don't feel as sorry for the people who have embraced it fully. You know, the ones that are just as dark can be, and they like it. I don't know what that is. I was trying to find something else. Everything's hidden in plain sight. So they like to show you who they are. A lot of these very famous, what we would call KILLERs, you know, the mass murderers, etc. They're all in on it. And you will see the symbolism that they use. They do it all the time. And if you kind of look into some of these people's so-called young lives, you know, when they were a young child, it's the writing is on the wall. So now I'm just going to do some basic images here. Oops. It's not coming up with what I... So I was listening to this testimony, not like religious testimony. Well, it kind of was, but anyways. This person who she used to be involved in a satanic cult. And don't get me wrong, not all Satanists are doing this, so let's not be cruel to all the Satanists, because they are not all doing this stuff. It's just a blanket term that everybody uses because they're too dumb to do some research. Anyhow, she was explaining how when they were doing rituals, she would have to go astral travel and communicate with spirits that had just transpired, or in the world of, what do they call it, the death realm. And anyways, that was really interesting to me because I never really understood the why they do some of the things they do. And yes, I am familiar with some of the Goetias and things, and I read a little bit of those, and I was just really freaked out, creeped out, so I stayed away from it. But they're actually really proud of who they are and what they are, and they love to rub it in people's faces. They like to sacrifice their firstborn sons, and I don't even have to bring up some of the famous cases, but if you guys do a little research, you'll see some of the more elite families, how they lost their firstborn sons to tragic so-called accidents, etc. You know, we just can't take their beliefs away. That's just what they believe in. And I've done a lot of thinking about it, and a lot of, how do you say that, pondering. You know, I when I was getting really deep into studying and learning about the rituals, I just really had a dark night of the soul because I realized some of my favorite celebrities and people that I had looked up to my entire life were 100% in on it. Like, really into it. And I learned, how do I say this? Like, you know, at the top levels, the very, very top levels of society, presidents, governors, senators, not all of them, but a lot of them are 100% in on this. And if you guys wonder why there's so many children that are lost to trafficking and nobody does anything, that's why. And the people that do speak out get taken out. It's because they're in on it. So, yeah, I remember reading Transformation of America by Kathy O'Brien and Mark. I can't think of his last name right now. That, Mark Phillips, he would be what I call a hero. Ted Gunderson was a real hero. You know, you don't just become a hero because you ingest something that a demon tells you to do, right? And I don't summon demons. I don't invoke them. I practice magic, but it most definitely would not be the kind of things that these folks, and I say folks very loosely. And I've learned that a lot of people that think that they know what they're talking about with these certain elites, they really don't know what they're talking about because they haven't researched it enough. Now, I remember before YouTube was completely censored, I was listening to this young woman named, I believe her name was Kathy Fromm, Fromm, and I remember her because she had such a German name. She was sharing how her grandmother sacrificed her as a 2-year-old toddler into a, how do you say that? A Harley Quinn sex ritual. And her uncle cried. He didn't want it to happen. Into one of those LODGES. At the highest level, that's what they do. And she was very traumatized from it. There was another person I used to listen to, Katie Groves. Katie Groves, who now goes by Dylan Groves, came from a lower level satanic family, and how did she explain it? She had, I forget the word, but it's when they fracture the personality. She had, like, how Kathy O'Brien explained her fracturing. Katie Groves, it was more, how do you say it? The word I'm looking for, I don't know, I'm just going to say magnanimous. The magnitude of the fracturing is like far greater than, because they've gotten more sophisticated. And she was trying to integrate her altars. And she talked about, because she used to be in the underground tunnels, and she talked about the things that went on there. and the sacrificing, the sex trafficking. I should be fine to say this because I'm not saying anybody's names. She talked about cannibalism, really, really awful things. And she finally escaped. She didn't know what she was, like as far as being an MK Ultra, satanic ritual abuse survivor. She broke out of her programming when she was in her teen years, and she got away. But she has some really, I mean, I call it heroic stories only because she's brave and strong to share what she went through and other people went through. And even as sad and dark as a lot of these things are, my personal opinion is that we should have some compassion and love for even some of the people that have partaken in some of these rituals, because a lot of them partake in it only because if they don't, they will be, you know what, taken out. And they're just trying to preserve their own life and the lives of their family members. So it's very easy for us to sit and judge other people, and I've judged, trust me. I'm not saying a lot of these people that are involved in these things are good. I'm not saying that, but I think redemption is possible for some people, and I really feel some of these people do need compassion. And I don't know, how long is this? Let's see here. Oh wow, this is going to be a long one. I'm almost finished here, but because I just don't want it to go on too long. But what I was going to say was, my chain of thought got broken. But like now, as far as some of the darkest of the darkest of the dark, like evil, just, you know, like the people that hurt the babies and the children, and I mean, you know what I think, I can't say it, but there's no, they can't be saved. I'm sorry, but they can't. They'll have to do another round, you know what I mean? But, you know, the underlying factor is death. So whether it's, because they wrote the books, by the way, I'm just saying they wrote all of the books. It's to divide, conquer, have one religion against the other, another religion against the other. That's why in the media you always hear a brown person against a white person, a gay person against a straight person, this versus that. These confrontations and divisions don't even really exist. And that's why they push it and they push it and they push it and they push it. And now, I mean, I hope one or two people have woken up, but you know, a lot of people won't, and that's just nothing you can do about it. But another horn god. What I was going to say is that it's always surrounding death. So you'll see, like when the plague was brought in a few years ago, you know, which is correlating to the apocalypse, because, you know, that's why. It's got to always be with the storyline. And you got this horse and that horse. You got the black horse, the white horse, and all this stuff. You know, they love their rituals. So they speak to each other through symbols. If I would tell anyone to do anything, watch their hands. You have to watch their hands. They like to go on their knees. They like to drop down on their knees. Go look up in Gematrinator the 4 basic ciphers of whatever word they are pushing. Like, for example, a few years ago, neck was involved, N-E-C-K. N-E-C-K, got the knee on the neck. Go look to see what that means on the Gematrinator. I'll just tell you. it means 33, which is the master number. They're the master, you're the slave. Okay. More one-eye symbolism. And a lot of people that partake in this stuff, they're a little bit ignorant. I don't know who's in and who's not. But little do they know that they're signing their own death warrant. They just don't get it, you know? They don't get it. So, there's that. Okay, just for fun, I'm going to go... And all the stuff that you guys see going on right now, it's always been here. If you go... Okay, here's the Gematrinator, just for the heck of it. See, 33 there. You got the ordinal, the reduction, the reverse, reverse reduction. Zachary K. Hubbard talks about that a lot. Oh, let me see here. I'm trying to think of something else. $35 is one of their numbers they use a lot too, 53. Oh, let me think here. Give me a minute. Okay. Let me think. Do. Just going off the cuff here. So that's 33, see? Master number. They write the books, we do the time. See, 33. Another 33. You guys see? Do you guys see? It's the control grid, 33. You are not allowed to understand what goes on behind closed doors. There's another 33. Okay, I'm going to stop with the thinking, you guys. I wanted to bring up something else. So that when I watched the Transformation of America, no, or I didn't watch it, I mean I read it, it was just so, it got me, I really was messed up. And then I was talking with a friend of mine who was a Christian, so, you know, I'm not into that religion stuff. By the way, that's a control method, just to let you guys know. Highly recommend reading this book. This just effed my world up. I was reading in there people that I had always thought were good people that were not. Anyways, you guys, this is almost 40 minutes. I don't even know how long it's going to take me to upload. I hope this was helpful. Always remember, death follows them everywhere. All the mass murderers, all the so-called crises, all the... what's the most recent? I'm watching this documentary on fentanyl. And of course they had to have one of their most favorite numbers, 147, 147, 147. Go check it out. Zachary K. Hubbard, that'll tell you what kind of lodge they're from. Later.